Hey guys, it's Justin Moore. Very special thanks going out to Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue, Cody Allen, and CMT. This is the first ever Ask Anything chat playing on multiple shows. 6 Cents, CMT Radio Live, After Midnight, and CMT All Access. Thanks for supporting Nashville Outlaws.
Alright, let's do that one more time. And we'll move on.
Hey guys, it's Justin Moore. Very special thanks going out to Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue, Cody Allen, and CMT. This is the first ever Ask Anything chat playing on multiple shows. 6 Cents, CMT Radio Live, After Midnight, and CMT All Access. Thank you guys so much for supporting Nashville Outlaws. Quinn from Ravenna asks, what made you choose to be a musician? I chose to be a musician because I picked up a guitar and couldn't put it down. It's kind of like a drug. Once you get it in your system, in your bones, you just can't live without it. So you know, I think sometimes it's a blessing and a curse. But I've always loved music. I've always specifically loved country music, and the fact that I get to do it for a living is a huge blessing. So. This question comes from Suzanne from St. James. She asks, besides Motley Crue, what song from another rock group album would I want to perform? There's a lot of them. I grew up on old school country and southern / classic rock. If I had to choose one old rock song to do, it would probably be a Bad Company song, because I think Paul is one of the greatest singers who's ever walked the earth. So it would probably be Shooting Star by by Bad Company. This next question is from Ashley in Canton, Ohio. She says, besides your family, what is the one thing you cannot live without? The one thing that I can't live without, besides my family, would probably be coffee. Brooke from Spanish Fork, Utah asks, who was my favorite singer / songwriter growing up? I have a lot of them that I looked up to and still look up to, but my favorite artist, songwriter, etc. of all time is without a doubt Dwight Yoakam. I've seen him play probably 15 times in my life, and I just think he's the ultimate singer, songwriter, entertainer, etc., etc. So he's still my favorite. This next question is from Robin in Nashville. What was it like to record with Motley Crue? I was at the taping and was blown away. Thank you. I'm glad you got to go. It was great. You know, it for me is the most random thing I've done in my career, but at the same time one of the most fun things that I've ever done in my career. I love the fact that, you know, no matter where a song originates, it can touch people in different genres, different times in their lives, and different groups of people. And I think this song is you know, one of those type songs that doesn't matter if it came out in the 80s or now, it's still touching people. And to get to do it with the guys who did it originally has been very, very cool. Abby from Jefferson asks, where is your favorite place to put on a show? You know, I'm biased towards, I think if you're an artist, you always love playing back home, no matter where that is. For me, that's Arkansas. But we've been fortunate that all over the country, thanks to country radio, we've been well received everywhere. So it's it's been fun everywhere. I don't know that I could choose one other than my home state. Next question is from Jamie Lynn in Clarksville. Were you nervous when you were making the Home Sweet Home song and video? I wasn't nervous. You know, this is what we do for a living, and it doesn't matter that I guess you're doing it with people that would be considered legends. We all do the same thing for a living. They got an earlier start than me. But it was a huge honor for me to do it. I'm fortunate that I was able to do it, but we don't really get nervous anymore. It's kind of second nature to us. This one comes from Kimberly and McKinney. Has country music always been a passion, or where did you get your inspiration from? Country music always has been a passion of mine. I just love listening to it. Where I was growing up in Central Arkansas, I thought that the country artists at the time, which was in the mid to late 80s through the 90s, I thought they were describing how I was growing up. So that's kind of where I developed a serious passion and love for country music. And as far as where I get my inspiration from, I get it from everyday life. You know, I see and experience the same things that everybody else does. I try to turn it into songs. This one is from Kaylee in Canton, Ohio. When you wrote If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away, what was going through your mind? Actually, Kaylee, I didn't write If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away. I had the pleasure of getting to record it, but a few guys in Nashville wrote that song and did a great job. But when I recorded the song, I was just getting over, or trying to get through, losing my grandpa, who was and still is my hero. He passed away of cancer a few years back. So even though I didn't write the song was really personal to me, and I've kind of learned over the years, if it's personal to me and touches me in a way that If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away did touch me, that it kind of does that to a lot of people. So even though I didn't write it, it's really special and really close to my heart. Next question comes from Temple, Texas. Colby asks, what inspired you the most and gave you the desire to decide not to give up on your dream when the roads looked like they were coming to an end? That's a good question. So many times throughout your career, whether you've had success yet or whether you're trying to accomplish your first, success in this business, there's so many times where it looks like it's not going anywhere. But to me, it just boiled down to the fact that I wanted this so bad that I was not going to take no for an answer. It was going to happen at some point. And then for me also, you just kind of have to understand that there are things that are in your control, and you need to do the best you can to control those things. But you have to, most importantly, in my opinion, you have to understand there are things that are out of your control, and letting those things go was huge for me. So, as far as what inspired me to keep going, I think it was just my own competitive spirit and willpower, just to prove to not only everybody else, but most importantly to myself, that I could actually, achieve some of the things that we've been able to achieve. This is from Ginger and Morley. Just curious, but why a white cowboy hat and not a black one? That's a question I've never been asked. It's as simple as this. I don't think I look good in a black cowboy hat. I've had a bunch of them. I still have some of them, but I never wear them because I think white looks better on me. Melinda in Melbourne asks, how has your life changed since winning New Artist of the Year? By the way, so happy for you. Thank you so much, Melinda. You know, it really hadn't changed at all. I know that's probably a boring answer, but you know, life over the years has changed dramatically for myself and my family. But the only thing that changed was the fact that all of the hard work that not only I put in, but my team that travels on the road with me, and my record label, and my management, and my family, and everybody who has busted their asses for me for years and years and years. I feel like there's a sense of pride within us now that you know we were lacking maybe, and I don't know. It's a little redemption for the last few years when we were maybe left out when we had the opportunity to go win it. So nothing's really changed as far as life goes, but except for, you know, the fact that we're swelled up with a little more pride now than what we had before. This one's from Sarah in Springfield. What would you be doing if you were not singing country music? I would probably be shoveling cow crap or something awful in Arkansas. No, you know, I never had a plan B, because I've always thought if you got a plan B, then you're opening yourself up to the possibility that you're going to fail at plan A, and I've never wanted that. So I was, when I was in high school, I was thinking about going into the medical field in some capacity, but I have no idea. I don't even have an answer for that, other than whatever it was, whatever it would be, would not be near as cool as what I'm doing now. This is from Norm in Arkansas, Pig Suey. How was it working with Motley Crue? It was great working with Motley Crue. They were great guys. It was cool to see that their excitement for this project was at the same level, if not higher than ours. So it was a lot of fun. This is from Charla in Muskogee. Do you think that the die-hard Crue fans are going cross? Do you think that the die-hard Crue fans are going to cross over and keep an open mind about the Outlaw album? You know, I don't know. I don't know a lot about, you know, their fans. You know, I think obviously, if we're being completely honest, I'm sure there's going to be some people, you know, that are not thrilled about it. But we're not making the album for them. We're making it for the people who are going to be thrilled about it. And the fact that we have Motley Crue themselves waving the flag for this project, I think, says all that needs to be said about it. I think no matter where songs originate from, it's cool to you know, introduce them to different people. And you know, I didn't grow up a huge Motley Crue fan. I just didn't listen to that type of music, but I've become a big fan because of a project like this, and I know there's a lot more people out there like me. So I hope they're, you know, happy with the things that we've done with the songs. But at the end of the day, we're making it for the people who want to hear it. So if they don't, they can kiss our ass. This is from Noel in Bellevue. How did Motley Crue inspire you as an artist? You know, I've touched on this before, but I didn't grow up listening to Motley Crue or that type of music. I grew up listening to pretty much only country music. And so I've become a Motley Crue fan more so in the past year than I ever have in my life. But I just think, for me, they inspire me more from a business standpoint. The fact that they've been able to accomplish all the things that they've been able to accomplish and reach the level of success that they have, I think is something that any artist, you know, would look up to. From Fresno, California, Rhonda asks, what is your favorite thing to do with your free time? My favorite thing to do with my free time is hang out with my wife and girls. I have 3 little girls, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-month-old. So that's definitely my favorite thing to do. It's never ending.
There's a few left here.
It's like 100 degrees in here. This is from Sherry in Shreveport. What made you want to write such a great, funny song like I'd Want It to Be Yours? I don't know if I've ever heard it be described as great, but thank you, Sherry. You know, songwriting, I started doing it because it's fun. And you know, I like writing serious songs, and I like writing goofy songs, just songs, period. And so, you know, this was just one of those days we were me and the guys I wrote it with were just kind of clowning around on the bus, and I don't know if the Kardashians were on TV or something like that, and kind of inspired us to write about that. But somebody said, well, are you a boob man or a butt man? And I said, well, I like them, I like it all, but I am a butt man if I had to get, or if I had to choose. And so that's kind of where that came from. So it's been fun to go play live, and it's a I know how ridiculous the song is, but it is fun. Michelle in Denver asks, what's the best concert you've ever attended? The best concert I've ever been to was Dwight Yoakam at the Ryman Auditorium a few years back. It was on the Blame the Vein tour, which is off in support of an album that he had called Blame the Vein, and it was just, it was incredible. I mean, he to me is the Elvis Presley of country music, and so I've seen him a number of times, but that particular show was awesome. The Ryman Auditorium is as good as it gets, and to see your favorite artist there is really cool. Tiffany from West Carlton has this question. How did you feel before and after your performance with Nikki and Vince at the CMA Fest? I felt good. I had a couple of cocktails before we did it, so my voice was nice and lubed up. And they're both great guys. Anytime we have the opportunity to play something together like that, it's always fun. And the fact that we got to do that in Nashville for CMA Fest was cool. It's one of the funnest weeks of the year. So. From Canada, Steph asks, did you actually miss the shot in the small town throwdown? Of course I didn't. I would never miss. No, we actually didn't even shoot. It was all TV magic. They didn't trust us with loaded weapons. But it was a lot of fun to shoot that video, though. Vicky Lee from North Carolina says, I was at a concert where you sang a gospel song your grandma loved. What made you want to share that? The song was Beulah Land, and we've done it a lot. First of all, what made me want to share that is the fact that I'm a Christian, and I feel like it's my job to use my platform to bring people to God wherever I have the opportunity to do so. And second of all, you know, I've learned over the years of doing this, and I've done it for a while now, that people obviously want to know what you sound like on the radio and what you look like on TV and all of these things, but people want to know who you are as a person inside, and I think that matters to people before they spend money that they don't have to go to a concert or buy a t-shirt or whatever it may be. And so I think moments like that in a show or whatever it may be help provide keen insight as to who I am as a person. So. Jeremy from Singapore asks, how has being a father and a country singer changed your life perspective? You know, as far as being a country singer, I don't know that it's changed my perspective on life too much, other than no matter what you do in life, no matter if you love your job or if you get to do what you love for your job or whatever that is, it's it taught me anyway to keep my priorities in order, because you get out here and you get on the road and you're having success and you become famous and you're making money and you're doing all this stuff, and you can get out of whack in a hurry. So I think as far as a big thought, big idea as far as life perspective, that doing this job taught me to prioritize. That also parlays into the other part of your question: how's being a father changed your perspective on life? You realize what's important in life, and so because of music and because of being a father, I have learned what actually matters in life, and it has taught me again to prioritize. And you know, first and foremost, I'm a dad and a husband, and then music comes second. So. That's a terrible answer. Madison from Claremore asked, would you ever consider duck hunting Arkansas? Of course, I live in Arkansas. I grew up an hour and a half from Stuttgart, which is the duck hunting capital of the world. I have duck hunted in Arkansas and obviously would consider doing it again and again and again. So.
Just a few left. There's like 6.
This is from Key in River Falls. Have you been a lifelong Motley Crue fan? Actually, Key, I haven't been. I grew up pretty unfamiliar with most of their stuff. I didn't listen to that type of music growing up. It's not a knock on them in particular. I didn't listen to that music growing up. I listened to all country music, but I obviously have become a fan of theirs more over the past year or so because of this project. This is from Hallie in North Manchester. How does it feel to be a part of such a huge album of combining Motley Crue and country fans? You know, it's a lot of fun. I think country music right now is more diverse than it's ever been, and probably more diverse than it'll ever be. I don't see, you know, I don't see the boundaries now that we used to see, and I think it's kind of cool. You know, I'm sure that, you know, there are some Crue fans who are my fans and vice versa, but I think things like this allow not only me but the other artists involved to grow our fan base beyond what, you know, just putting another country song out does. You know, it allows us to kind of live outside the proverbial box, so to speak, and you know, our ultimate goal is grow this thing as big as we can grow it and add as many people, and so I think things like this help. So because of that, it's pretty awesome. Same one. This is from Sarah in Hickory. Hi Justin, what song of yours is your wife's favorite? Oh wow. Kind of changes each album. On the second album, the Outlaws Like Me album, her favorite was Till My Last Day. But this particular album, the Off the Beaten Path album, her favorite is That's How I Know You Love Me, which is also my favorite song on the album as well. So, and this from Jesse in Cleveland. What is your all-time favorite Motley Crue song? Home Sweet Home. Out of Waco, we got a question from Morgan. What is most special to you about being on the Nashville Outlaws album? You know, I think the most special thing to me is getting to, you know, step out of the box and do something a little different that kind of challenged me vocally and stretched me as an artist. I've kind of stayed inside my little box for a while, and for me to get to step out and do something like this, I think is just pretty cool. Don't forget, Nashville Outlaws is out now. Thanks again to Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue, Cody Allen, and CMT.